my gosh! Hello Reapers, my name's Scythe, and before we get started today with this Terraria Thorium mod, I wanted to let you know that a lot of you have actually been telling me some great mods to actually implement into the series, but for today, I just want to tell you that I like keeping things simple, and we're going to be adding the recipe browser mod, which apparently allows us to see all of the different crafting items that are required for recipes. We do have a cheat sheet, but I'm not going to enable that because that thing is overpowered, and a boss checklist mod, which is going to end up being very useful for us keeping track of the bosses that we gotta kill. Okay, let's take a peek at these things. Whoa, that's pretty cool. So the Grand Thunder boss, I guess, is what we're supposed to be fighting in the first place or something, because it says that he's actually first on the list. Then there's the Slime King and then the Eye of Cthulhu, which of course the Slime King is going to be something random, but use a Storm Flare, okay, with a flare gun during the day in the desert. Requires storm flares to function, summons the Grand but only during the day in the desert. Where do you actually get this weapon, though? That's where I guess this recipe thing is going to end up coming into play. What was this actually called? Flare gun. There it is right there. So this is going to... How do we actually make it? We make it at an anvil. We need iron bars, talons, which we do actually have a bunch of those. I didn't know that was a thorium on. And arcane dust. Where do we actually get this item, though? That's the real question. Okay, let's take a peek at that. Arcane dust. That's going to end up being right here, which, yeah, okay. It says that it's a modded item, but that's already just pretty much the same item that you use from Fallen Stars. And then the ammo itself is just a storm flare, which that's going to end up being all the exact same resources. Okay, cool. So at least we've got something to work towards. I don't know whether or not we actually have enough of those stars yet, because I haven't really been farming for any of them. But let's take a peek and see what we got here. Okay, so we don't really have any talons, unfortunately, and we're still missing a lot of the stars as well. So we're gonna have to start focusing on the nighttime and starting to get our hands on all that stuff. But for the most part, it does mean that we can head into the desert and start trying to kill a bunch of enemies for the talons and hopefully be able to actually fight this guy today. Honestly speaking, folks, since the last episode, not really that much has happened, just because of the simple fact that I've been busy. Oh my, we actually have a sandstorm going on. Is that evil? Like, hopefully it's not going to secretly kill me or something. I don't know, but I'm assuming that, oh gosh, the wind is actually got wind resistance, like it's trying to push us to the left. Oh my gosh, what is this place? That's really cool though, but it doesn't seem like any of the creatures are actually spawning in here, because I'm pretty sure what we have to do is kill a bunch of the stupid birds, right? Yeah. Okay, we gotta be very careful here. Yeah. And hopefully be able to kind of go a little bit further, because I don't think we've actually explored that much of this area. I think this was actually just the corruption, so we're going to take a peek at this. Again, I would hope that we could fight the bosses today, but honestly speaking, I don't know. Oh my gosh, what is that thing? What was that? New corruption creatures? I've never seen those guys before. Can we actually fight these guys with this weapon? Yeah, okay, we can. Good, 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 because otherwise that was really going to scare me if we couldn't fight these guys, because the corruption is like so normally it takes such a long time to be able to actually get through the corruption, but now that we've actually got like this barred tools, it just makes things like a walk in the park so far, you know? Like I really am into it. Okay, I gotta try and seal this idiot in. No! Bad! It begins! We're starting to become overwhelmed. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. We gotta try and get to the end of the world as well, which will be quite useful. Ooh, there's like a specific resource that I'm sure that we need. Get out of here, you stupid... Oh boy, this dirt is already turning into corruption. I keep forgetting about that. That means we're probably going to have to go through these areas and... I don't know. I'm gonna have to like cut the corruption off from the rest of the world. Anyways, guys, I want to know your feedback on something here, because that cheat mod actually does give you quite a bit of control over the way that you actually play Terraria, and I wanted to get feedback from you guys before I take that step, because I know that it can be a little bit cheaty, and I mean, obviously it can be cheaty, but I want to kind of be careful about how many, how I end up approaching this series, because I don't want to shy anyone away and be like, oh no, he's just cheating, blah, blah, blah. But with the mod, you actually do have an option quite specifically, ooh, strange plant, we're gonna need those for the druid, I think. But we actually will have the option to set up whether or not like the world is lit up, even though we don't have torches in it. Which the reason why I'm thinking and kind of leaning towards that isn't for the sake of like cheating and being able to see everything in the environment without torches. Most of all, that was actually really close. Most of all, it's because of the fact that I think for you guys, it might make the video a little bit more entertaining and better, because then I wouldn't have to go through the environment placing torches down, and you would be able to see stuff on the screen a lot better. You know what I mean? So let me know what you think about that. Obviously, if it's something that's just a big no, that's just evil, that's too much cheating, Scythe, then I'm not going to end up actually doing it. By the way, another thing too that I almost forgot to tell you guys is I ended up getting a couple different items right here. Let me take these off just in case. I think that's actually the only one, because I don't think the tungsten thing ended up changing. But I got the silver mouthpiece here, which actually increases our symphonic playing speed and also attempts to make our like shots home in on enemies. So that's kind of why you're seeing our projectiles being a little bit of a homing shot, which is really, really useful actually. You know, the fact that we actually get something like that so early on, like I'm really, really liking this whole bard thing and really excited to see like how it ends up playing out, dare I say, because we're a bard. That was really bad joke, I know. All right, so we ended up finding the jungle biome, so that's pretty cool that this is actually right here, which means we gotta try and be careful about like how the corruption actually spreads. The longer we start playing this game, the more it's going to end up going out of its way to try and destroy our face. So I got to try and watch out for that, you know. Ooh, but we do actually have an underwater chest here, so I'm really excited about this. Bloop. What do we got in here? Archery potion, intrepid flippers. I like that. I love the flippers, man. That's so cool because it's a reference to A Link to the Past. What do they even do again? I completely forgot. It grants the ability to swim. Ah, you know what? Come to think of it, I don't know whether or not I ever ended up getting the flippers in my last like Let's Play series of the vanilla game. I don't know if I ever did, because at least in that version of the game, maybe it's changed since then, I don't think that you could actually get underwater chests out in the random environment like we just did right there, you know? Like I'm pretty sure you had to specifically get it out of the ocean. But we do got another chest right here on the surface as well, which has got gold, torches, night owl potion, which I should probably use, and also a blowpipe. What the? Oh, that's that range damage weird thing. Okay, and then we've actually got, we gotta be very careful of that. We've got a thing right here already set up so that we can end up destroying that as we end up coming to destroy the corruption later with our pwn hammer. And we actually got a bee biome here, guys. It took me such a long time to find that biome the first time that I played through this game. Like, seriously, it was a problem. Oh, man. We got so lucky with the generation here. And we got, like, a lot of gold here, too, which is always nice. And so many chests. Like, Manolite bottles. Yep. I know I should be using the ropes that we've got going on. I know that. I'm bad for it, man. Like, I don't really use all the tools that I should honestly be using. Let me get rid of the water here so it's not causing us too much trouble as I go for all of this ore. See, like, for example, right now it's getting super duper dark, right? And I know that that kind of defeats the purpose of Terraria. That's why I want to hear your guys' feedback of whether or not that would actually be something where you'd allow me to do that, where I could just turn on the brightness mod and then we'd be able to actually, like, see into these caves and not be able to actually miss any treasure and stuff like that, which, again, is why it could be viewed as very, very cheaty, because we could potentially end up, like, getting a bunch of items and resources that we wouldn't normally be able to get. Speaking of which, we've got another chest up here to check out, and lots of weird looking bad guys, man. Like, seriously, I also kind of heard a shining sound up on the surface. Okay, really good stuff there, actually. And I'm guessing that that was a star, because it is nighttime, so I should actually really be going out of my way to get all that stuff, rather than trying to go into this biome. So I'm gonna do just that in 2 seconds here after I just take care of these stupid bees, because they're uggles and deserve death. Ah! There we go. I forgot how easy it was to actually use those ropes. I gotta try and get myself a net as soon as possible as well. Oh man, come on. Because, like, we gotta try and start capturing some bugs ASAP. I also should try and start setting up some proper bridges across these places. Get out of here. Because of the simple fact that it's going to end up making things a lot easier for us in the long run, because we'll be able to have like a proper bridge so that we can end up not only just getting across the terrain, but also because it's going to be easier for us getting stars, and also later on when the meteors start crashing down. But if a meteor ends up crashing into this bridge, which is one of the big reasons why making a sky bridge is not necessarily recommended, it does mean that we will have the option. You know, it means that if it ends up crashing into it, unfortunately, it's just going to end up generating like one thin layer of the actual meteorite, rather than like a full-on proper like, oh, it crashed into the ground. There's like 1 billion of it to actually farm up. Get out of here, you stupid zombie freaks. Like, seriously, you bother me. We're getting lots and lots of resources off of these guys, though. I'm actually quite surprised. Man alive, I love this weapon. Like, if the rest of the Bard class is this overpowered, I am down for it, especially because of the fact that we know that this update itself... Lucky climbing shoes. Ooh, that's actually... Oh, that's the climbing claws. That's the second part of the set. So we got the spiked shoes, and now we got the climbing shoes, which allows the ability to slide down walls, also improves the ability when combined with the spiked shoes. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see that anytime soon, because it requires that stupid little goblin. Which means I gotta venture into the depths of the world to actually end up getting that guy. So it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get that boss fight today, folks, because for the most part, it seems like we're just sticking on the surface, and a lot more time has passed than I thought originally, but we are at least getting lots and lots of gear. I know I could be grabbing all the items out of the chest at once, but why would I want to do that? I want to be able to see all of the resources that we're getting our hands on, right? And the important thing, ooh, there's another chest right there, is the fact that we've discovered so much. Like, this is really, really going to help us in the long run. Mining potion, I love those. Also a spear, nice. Demonic spear, which is not, normally that would be a good find, but it's not nearly as good as this piccolo that we're using right here, dude, seriously. I'm also noticing another corruption table on our right there. But yeah, so the point being is that right now might seem useless, guys. I know it might seem useless, but it's not, trust me. Because all of this stuff that we're discovering, all the research of actually like figuring out what's wrong with the world and figuring out what's going on in the environment and everything like that, it's all really going to end up having a big part to play as we end up like needing to find these biomes later. Like, now we know where there's a beehive present. Now we know where there's a lot of these corrupt crafting tables that are going to be very easy for us to end up destroying later on when we got to actually try and fight like the world worm or whatever that guy's called, you know, and stuff like that, right? So really, really cool that we've actually found all this stuff. No, I want to place a torch down on the ground, and I do want to end up getting into this area and lighting it up just for the future here, because it is going to end up being useful for us. I don't want to end up dying on that, though. Okay, we got really big... Oh, nice falling star. We got a really, really big bit of water right here that I'm going to have to create a proper pathway over. Yoink! Give me another fallen star. I think we're actually going to be doing pretty good on those, so we might just barely be able to have a boss fight at the end of today's episode. I'm not going to include me building a bridge, though, because this is boring, but this is actually... Ooh, that kind of sucks. This is a desert biome that's completely covered in water. Ooh, I need talons, though, dude. I don't know whether or not... Do you get the talons from the... birds, like the vultures, or do you actually... I think you might actually get it from like the antlions and stuff, which means I should be farming those guys instead of doing what I'm doing now. And done. We're finally all the way on the other side here, which it looks like this might actually be... Is this the end of the map when we start seeing these trees? Like, is this a proper ocean? Yeah, that's a proper ocean. So, we have explored all the way to the right of the map, everybody. That's very exciting. Oh my gosh, there's so many items I gotta deposit. Ugh. Where's my recall potions? I know I had some of those. Oh, there they are, right on my hotbar. Bloop. There we go. Let me try and sort all my chests here. Oh gosh, this is gonna take a little while. Oh man, I just missed that star too. All right, I think we're doing pretty okay. By the way, we don't have wiring to set up any of those traps or statues or what have you. But I am going to end up putting them down there just because we are going to end up needing those a little bit later. The shackle, I think, do you need that eventually for crafting? I think you do, if I'm not mistaken. Why do I have junk, material, gear? Oh, okay, I see how it's organized. Anyways, let's see if we can go and get ourselves some extra talons here and possibly fight that boss today, because I'd be really interested to see, is it actually super duper powerful? Because otherwise today's episode was not very profitable outside of the exploration aspect. Take that, you dumb vulture. Yeah, so those guys do actually drop the talons. Okay. That means I just gotta go and find more of these idiots, which for some weird reason, they don't seem to be spawning in this area very much. Oh, there we go. Take that, dummy! Give me more of those talons. I gotta see, how many of these did we actually need? We need one for the torch, and then we needed, how many for the flare gun? 2 of them. Okay, so actually, I think we might be good then. Because we've got, yeah, we're gonna be doing okay here. And then what was the boss itself? The Grand Thunderbird. Use a flare during the desert daytime. Okay, cool. Let's try and do this. Here we go. So we might not necessarily be fully prepared for this, but I don't care. Me wants to fight my boss. Like, seriously. Okay, so we got one shot. One shot with this, and fingers crossed, because this boss apparently is earlier than Eye of Cthulhu. I'm really hoping that the Piccolo and the armor that we actually have right now is just going to be enough that we're going to be able to annihilate him. Maybe I should set up a little bit of an arena, though, just so that we can hopefully dodge him. We don't have that much movement right now, though, so that could end up being a bit of a problem. All right, anyways, I don't really care. Let's just do it. Okay, stupid bird brain. What the? Oh, my gosh. Well, it's a good thing that oh, that was our flare. Oh, my gosh. He's so beautiful. He's kind of weak. Unless he secretly, aha, get trapped behind my barrier, stupid. Ugh. Jeez, are you kidding me? What was that? He actually has like unique attack animation. Okay, that wasn't our flare then. That was actually the boss itself that ended up doing that. I gotta try and kill more of these guys though so that we can end up getting our magic up. It's beautiful music though, I love it. Come on, you! Bring it on, stupid bird brain. He's kind of stupid. He's kind of an idiot. Really awesome that this mod ended up helping us figure this out though. Eee! You think that I'm gonna fall for that twice, you big dopey moron? Whoa! He's stepping it up! It's his final phase, I guess. Or something like that. At least he doesn't really hurt us that much at all. Okay, die, stupid, and give me all of your resources. Yes! We got didgeridoo. Are you kidding me? What's the didgeridoo? Okay, so we got sandstone ingot. Uh-oh, that means we're gonna have to fight this guy over and over. Gross! Oh, no. And a didgeridoo. Ooh, this might actually be better than our, okay, 16 symphonic damage is what we got here, but this guy's got 15 damage, 12% crit damage, slow attack speed. This is very fast attack speed, so I don't know. Average knockback uses 2 inspiration. Blah, 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 blah. All right, let's try it out and see what this does. Ugh, that's kind of cool. It seems to just go like far, like crazy. Oh, I see. It gives us like a passive. Not to mention that's actually pretty powerful, surprisingly, because its knockback is actually really good. Did this thing actually releases slow-moving sonorous damage and powers players with 1 movement speed as opposed to the other one, which gives us 1 defense, which is quite useful. That's cool. That's really cool. I like that. And the homing on it is actually really intense. That's cool. That might actually be better than the weapon that we have. Even though it says like slow attack speed, it's pretty good, dude. It's pretty good. So I might farm that boss a little more if I end up having the time. But as for right now, that's all the time we have for today, everybody. This episode went way longer than I was intending to. In either case, thank you so much for watching. Very much appreciate it, and the support that you guys have been giving me. Really enjoying this series, and I'm glad that you guys are into it as well. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content. And if you want to support me, there's links in the description to my merch store as well as Gawkbox. Sign on and stay epic, everybody.